Hey, this is the eccentric raven, reader and writer. I am happy to announce March Readathon. March is a special time of year for me because, for one, it's my birthday month, and the month for several other birthdays in my family. And it's a time of year when we celebrate many things. March is when we celebrate spring, for those of us in the northern hemisphere, and for those in the southern hemisphere, it's the coming of fall. One of my favorite holidays is St. Patrick's Day. And there's so many other things celebrated in March. There's March Madness, there's Women's History Month. And depending on what year it is, there could be the celebrations for Mardi Gras or Purim. March Readathon provides 9 different writing prompts to choose from. And you have the choice to follow this tic-tac-toe or bingo board, whichever way you can think of it, to complete at least 3 reads to complete 1 row. And if you really want to take on a challenge, you can read 9 books, one for each of these prompt categories. The prompts are listed on my Storygraph page, which is linked right below. And the Storygraph page also lists some of my choices of books that I might pick. The first prompt choice is to read a book that takes place in spring or takes place in autumn. One book in that category I might read is Flash Forward by Robert J. Sawyer. It's a science fiction book where on one day in April, the whole world experiences this flash forward, this blacking out and seeing a vision for, 2 minutes. Many years ago, there was a TV series that was inspired by this book, and ever since I saw that series, I've been wanting to read this book. But kind of different of what you might expect for a spring book. And then a book that I might pick for autumn vibes would be this, is Amish Sweetheart by Jennifer Beckstrand. I've been wanting to read an inspirational Amish Christian romance for some time. And another one of my interest, this book, The Grace Year by Kim Liggett. This one actually takes place all year round, so it suits any season. This is YA dystopia, and I love YA dystopia a lot. I write it, I read it. The next prompt is for Women's History Month. Read a book that has multiple female main characters, or has multiple female points of view. Yes, a pretty good example that would go in that category is The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. I read this book back in high school and I loved it, and I might reread it sometime. But I think more likely I'll probably read Cranford by Elizabeth Gaskell. Now, the book doesn't need to have only female, POVs or female main characters. So if it has multiple points of view of both male and female, then that also counts. So another book in that category that I might read is 6 of Crows, which has 6 characters, both males and females. The second prompt is St. Patrick's Day. That means read a book that's either set in Ireland, or is about Irish immigrants, or is by an Irish author, or features Irish mythology in some way. One of my choices in that is Artemis Fowl by Owen Colfer. I've wanted to read this book for a long time, and I know that American Gods by Neil Gaiman also had a little Irish mythology in it as well, along with Norse mythology, among others. Another one of my interests is Irish fairy and folk tales that was collected by William Butler Yeats, or W.B. Yeats for short. I have long loved the works of W.B. Yeats, well known for his poetry and plays. And this is a compilation that he put together of many different Irish fairy tales and stories. So I definitely love to dig these. I also have a couple compilations of Irish poetry and Irish short stories that I might dig into. Right, the next prompt is to read a non-fiction book that is health-related. Because March is a month for a number of kind of health-related topics like National Nutrition Month, National Brain Awareness Month, National Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month, and quite a few others. One book that goes under the category of health that has been on my TBR for a pretty long time is The Child Who Never Grew by Pearl S. Buck. From what I've heard, this is the true story about her own daughter who was mentally challenged. Another book that I could read in that category would be In Stitches by Dr. Anthony Ewan, MD. Dr. Ewan is a YouTuber I love a lot, and he's definitely helped to share a lot of information and educate about plastic surgery. I read his book, Playing God, and I liked it a lot. So I look forward to reading this one too. The fifth prompt is Mardi Gras. So for this prompt, read any sort of book that's related to a big celebration, like if it features a carnival or a circus or a feast or a parade or any sort of festival, then that book can go in this category. For me, it will be an excuse to read this, which has been on my TBR for quite a while, Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. Alright, and now prompt number 6 is birthday, because again, yes, it'll be my birthday month. So for this category, just read any book that features a birthday. It doesn't matter whether the birthday is the center of the plot. It's just if there's a birthday in the story, then it counts. A book that I plan to read is Measuring Up by Lily Lamotte and Anne Zhu. This is a graphic novel about a young girl who's trying to, cook up something for her grandma's birthday. Next is the National March into Literacy Month. So March is also a reading appreciation month, about just kind of sharing the love of reading, the love of books everywhere. For this prompt, read a book where the cover features books on the cover. One book that I might read that fits that category is Assistant to the Villain. See the books right there. Another option I have to read is Kind of a Big Deal by Shannon Hale, which has some books on the cover. Though I would love the most, though, to read Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. Prompt number 8 is March Madness. For this prompt, read a sports-related book. So my choice that I'll probably pick up is The Runner by Cynthia Voigt. She was a well-accomplished writer of children's, middle grade, and young adult books. And now the last prompt, number 9, Pie Day. So for this, read any kind of book that features baking or sweets. Or if you'd like something math-related, just read a book related to math. What better book to read for Pie Day than Life of Pi by Jan Martel. This has been on my TBR for a long time. You need to read it. Alright, so that's the challenge. Those are the prompts. If you'd like to join, follow the link below to the Storygraph page, and you'll find all of my other social media links down there too. So tell me, what do you plan on reading? What do you think of the books on my TBR? Have you read any? Any recommendations? And also, if you're participating in my year-long reading challenge to read more books by reading short books, anything you read here will definitely count towards that. And if you'd like to learn more about that challenge, you can see that in the video linked here on the end titles. Thank you so much for joining. The Eccentric Raven signing out.